What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another F30 video. Today's video is going to be a good one, so I hope you guys enjoy it. I've got some really great news for this channel. We finally have secured another partnership with actually quite a big name. So if you guys are familiar with Keys Motorsports, they are now a partner of the Accelerated Motion YouTube channel. So huge shout out to Brian over at Keys Motorsports for giving me this opportunity to work with such a great company and a well-known name in the BMW community. If you guys aren't familiar with Keys Motorsports, definitely go check out their website. It's keysmotorsports.com. Check them out on Instagram, Keys Motorsports. They're a huge name in the BMW community. So if you have an F30, that's a channel that you definitely need to follow on YouTube and definitely on Instagram. A lot of DIY content from that channel, and they also are working on F80s as well as Supras now. So a lot of content out there, so definitely go check them out. And once again, huge thanks to them. Let's get on with today's video. I am super stoked, super excited for today's install. I did a video recently talking about the different types of tunes that are available for this particular car. So if you guys don't already know, this is a 2014 BMW F30 335i. This is the N55 motor, and I did a video where I talked about the different types of tunes available. So a link will be in the description below if you want to check that video out. But today is finally the day. We are going to go ahead and install boot mode on this car. So if you guys haven't checked out my tuning video, again, the link will be in the description below, but I would highly recommend watching that video first before watching this one. I go over the different types of tunes that are available and why I chose boot mode. So that might be helpful to watch before watching this one, because this one is going to be more of an install video. Just a quick rundown on boot mode. It is a flash tune, so we will be unlocking the DME, and we're gonna have a couple off-the-shelf maps that we're gonna start with first. So I am going to expect about 50 to 60 horsepower added on after installing a boot mode stage 2 tune. Your car might vary a little bit. Mine is not a stock 335, and what I mean by that is the car actually has an M Performance power kit on it, so it is already a little bit faster than your standard 335. It's got 330, 335 horsepower versus a standard 335, which has about 300 and 300 foot-pounds of torque. So it's already a little bit faster, so I'm not sure what the difference in the gain is from my M Performance power kit versus a stage 1 boot mode tune, but we're gonna find out today. So there is going to be a variance between everyone's horsepower numbers. Every car is a little bit different. So the best thing to do is get a base run on a dyno. That way you can figure out what your stock horsepower numbers are and then tune it and then do another dyno session. That way you guys can actually see what the numbers are. Like I said, every car is gonna be a little bit different, and you can kind of read what people's numbers are on the forum, and a lot of people have actually done dyno testing. So I think the average is about 50 to 60 horsepower on a stage 2 tune. If you guys are looking to purchase a boot mode tune, I highly recommend Keys Motorsports. This is their website. So just real quick, I want to show you guys how to find this. This is their homepage here. So if you go over here, say you've got my car, go over to 3 Series, and then hover over 335. And so there's also 335, 335i xDrive, and then you'll have options for the E series, or in our case, we're looking for the 2011 to 15 F30 and 55. Once you click on that, they've got a ton of different products for this car, as you can already see. So what we're going to do is actually go over here on the left side, performance, and you'll see boot mode that pops up. So we are looking for the N55 in my case. Even if you've got a 328 and you want to add a little bit of power to it, here's your N20 boot mode tune right here. So as you can see, it's $595. So all you'd have to do here is decide on if you need to add these additional add-ons here. So Pro Tuning Freaks, who makes boot mode, they actually have a Wi-Fi agent device which you can add for another $149, and that gives you the ability to change your tunes with your mobile device without having to plug in your laptop every single time. You will need an Ethernet cable, so this is $20. So this is the cable required to flash your tune. So you need this. This kind of goes from your OBD2 port to an internet cable, and I'll show you that here in a second. Once again, Keys Motorsports, and let's go ahead and get this installed. So after you place the order, you'll actually get an email confirmation with your order. So you'll have this additional email from Keys Motorsports that actually has the software license needed to actually upload a tune. Additionally, there's some instructions down here in this email. You have to register your vehicle first at www.bootmode with a 3, not an E at the end, just so you guys know, it's BM3. So bootmode.net, and you need to create an account. After you've signed up and you're logged in, then you can go ahead with your registration of the vehicle. Then from there, you'll start the OBD agent, enter the provided activation code, click activate, and then proceed with your registration. Additionally, Keys Motorsports does give you some reference things here. There's an entire Facebook user group, some general instructions on how to activate, data logging, OBD agent, and things like that. So very helpful stuff here. We're gonna go ahead and download this. This is the first time I've actually done this, so what we're gonna do first is go to bootmode.net. What I need to do is create a new account. And so I'm gonna go ahead and sign up real quick. Okay, so once you've completed that task, this will take you to another screen, and it says if you haven't downloaded the BootMode OBD agent, you can download it from the OBD agent screen. So I'm gonna go ahead and click this, and then we are working on a Windows computer here. So I'm going to download the latest version of the OBD agent by clicking this link here. Okay, then you wanna go ahead and open your .exe file, and then this installation box will pop up. Okay, then I'll get to this screen. This will install BootMode OBD agent onto your computer. The wizard will lead you step by step through the installation process. So click next, next, and then we'll go ahead and let this download. Setup has finished installing BootMode on your computer. The application may be launched by selecting the icons. Click finish. So go ahead and open your BootMode. Look at that car, by the way. Looks so good. Okay, so when you are tuning, this is actually going to be open the entire time. So this BootMode agent will sit here in the background. You don't need to do anything with this, just let it sit there. Okay, so back to this page here. If you scroll down, you can hit activate vehicle. So at this point, we need to connect our Ethernet cable. After you get your activation code from Keys Motorsports, you need to wait for your Ethernet cable to come in the mail if you decide to purchase one of these. So this is what it looks like. Once again, this will plug into your OBD on one side, and then on the other side will actually plug into an Ethernet cable. So your laptop does need to have an Ethernet port. If not, you can purchase one of these, which I actually purchased on Amazon for like, I don't know, $5–10 or something like that. So a link will be in the description below if you need to purchase one of these, but my brand new laptop does not have an Ethernet port on the back, so that's why I needed to order this guy. And this is everything that we need in order to load the new tune. Since this is the first time that we're putting a tune on this car, it will take a little bit longer the very first time because it does need to unlock the DME. But after that, whenever you go into boot mode to change a tune, it's probably a matter of minutes to upload a new tune. So I'm not exactly sure how long it takes for the first time, but I'm anticipating maybe 10–15 minutes. So it is advisable to use a battery tender. So I've got one of those here. Don't ask me where I purchased this because I actually got this at SEMA back in 2016 from a vendor out there, but any battery tender will work. So you need to connect it to your battery and then we should be good to go. All right, so I've got my car on the battery tender, as you can see. I've got my laptop over here, and now what we can finally do is connect to the OBD2 port. So if you don't know where that is, it's underneath here, right here, where my pinky is right here. So you'll need to plug that in. This side, obviously, and then the other side again is the Ethernet port. And so we're gonna connect it to my little dongle here, and then right into the USB port on the computer. All right, so as you guys saw, I went ahead and plugged this in over here on the USB on the computer, and instantly my car kind of woke up. So it's on accessory basically right now. And as you guys can see, it now says that the VIN has been detected. So what we need to do now is put in our activation key. You'll need to put in that number that was in your email. Come down here and hit activate. This little box pops up. New vehicle has been successfully registered and activated in your account. You can go ahead and choose a map from OTS Maps and then flash it. So that was super, super easy. Okay, so we are connected. So over here in the top left corner, if you hit menu, you can actually see all these little things over here. So one of them is dashboard, data logs, diagnostics, OBD agent, my maps, OTS maps. If you wanted to request a custom tune, you could send your tune request here. There's also a list of tuners that are available in this directory that you can choose from, which is really awesome. There's also transmission tunes. So a lot of different options here. So what we're gonna do first is actually do an OTS map. So once again, it all depends on what kind of modifications you have on your vehicle. Kind of determines what kind of tune you're going to put on the car. If your car is stock, you can do a stage 1 tune. It's not going to hurt you, but in order to run a stage 2 tune and make more power, you do need additional modifications, that being, I believe, intake, downpipe, as well as a front mount intercooler. So my car currently does have an intercooler. It does have an upgraded charge pipe, but I am still on the stock downpipe. I do have a downpipe sitting around that I need to install, but so for today we're going to do a stage 1 map only. If you scroll down here, what we're going to do is a stage 1 93 octane map, and 93 octane is available around my area. We've got actually 93 more often than 91. So what I'm going to do is this N55 electronic wastegate pro tuning freaks stage 1 93. If you keep scrolling, you'll see stage 2 tunes for 91 as well as 93. There's also E30 tunes, race gas tunes, stage 2 plus race gas. So a lot of different things on here that are just right off the shelf maps, which is really awesome. All right, so scroll back up. We're gonna go ahead and click on this stage 1 93 octane. So once again, it does say stock hardware, no modifications required on this one. Changes boost control, boost target changes, etc., etc. So go ahead and click on that. And then all you need to do is click get tune. Are you sure you'd like to acquire the stage 1 93 octane map? Yes. So it says adding the 91 under my maps. Successfully acquired. You can now find it under my maps. Okay, so currently you can see that I have my stock tune on here, which is my M Performance Power Kit tune. And then I also have a stage 1 93 that I've downloaded, which you just saw. So I'm going to make sure that my OEM map is still on here, and so I want to make sure that this is on here, so I'm going to click flash and then download and then flash later. So downloading the stock tune map. All right, so download has been successful. Now we can go back. It says right there it's been downloaded. We're going to click my maps, and then we are going to click on this 93 octane stage 1 tune. This is an off-the-shelf map. There are no updates available at this time. So BOOTMOD is constantly updating their maps and changing things. So that's kind of the great thing about this. So I'm gonna go ahead and click flash down here. Battery charger is highly recommended. Turn headlights off and fan off, and plug the driver's side seatbelt in. Do not close doors while flashing. If using a piggyback device, make sure it's off or on map 0. So we don't have a piggyback tune. So what we need to do, I'm gonna go ahead and turn my headlights off. I've already turned off the fans, and one important thing here, you have to plug in the driver's seatbelt. So I'm gonna go ahead and plug that in. And then the car's probably gonna do some crazy things. So just make sure you do all that stuff ahead of time. So what I'm gonna do is hit flash. So it's going to download. We'll see how long this takes. All right, about 10 seconds later, it says flash in progress. It's preparing to write. The car is kind of waking itself up. Some little things happening here in the dash. You'll see some error lights, chassis stabilization error. Some things will pop up here as well. So don't let any of that scare you. It's pretty normal. Just make sure you don't close or open the doors or touch anything else. So as you can see, we're now starting to flash this thing. So we're currently at 3%, and we're just gonna let this go. All right, so literally only a couple minutes went by. I didn't even finish uploading my Instagram post, and this thing is already done. So the car was making some noises, and like I said, a couple things went on the dash, but no need to worry there. It's doing its thing. And right now it's clearing any primary codes with the vehicle's ECUs and finishing up. So I think we're almost done. And just like that, Stage 1 93 octane flash successful. Please turn ignition off, wait 5 seconds, then start the car. Turn the car off. We're gonna wait, but I think we're good. Go ahead and turn the car on. So if for some reason you do have a check engine light on the dash, all you need to do is turn the car off and then turn it back on. I didn't actually have any check engine lights pop up. Everything looked really good. So I think we're finally ready to test drive this thing. But I am going to change a couple parameters, I think, on this. Maybe add a little bit of burble. We'll kind of play with that stuff as the time goes on, as well as the transmission flash. All right, so before we actually take this for a drive, I am going to make a couple of these little changes just to kind of see what happens. If you go up here to configure on the top right corner, you'll see a couple different map configuration settings: exhaust burble, GTS startup roar, max cooling module, cold start, you can turn that on or off, cold start RPM you can change, all kinds of different parameters here. Exhaust flap, speed limiter, catalytic monitors. We are still on stock cat, so whatever there. So I think what I'm going to do is actually change the exhaust burble. So if you come over here, and then so you've got OEM, off the shelf, original, off, custom, OTS. So this is going to be a set tune off the shelf exhaust burble setting, but if I wanted to customize it, I can hit custom. So over here you can actually see all of the things you can change. So duration and sport, the aggression and sport, minimum speed that it kicks on, maximum speed, minimum RPM in order to do burbling, that sort of stuff. So let's leave it on custom. So I think I'm going to change the aggression up a little bit to maybe 6. And then in sport mode, I'm going to turn it all the way up to like 10. Duration, I don't want it to burble too much. Maybe we'll turn it up a little bit. Maybe this is number of seconds. So we'll do 3 seconds in sport mode, and then maybe 2 seconds in regular. Maximum RPM is basically, we'll just bump it up to all the way. We'll just have it burble constantly. So we can scroll down here. And I think I'm gonna leave the rest for now just because I kind of want to just play with this and see what this is like. So yeah, let's go back down here. All right, so I think that's it. Go back and then hit flash. Hit flash, and now it's flashing, making the little change. Things are kicking on again. The car naturally burbles a little bit already because it does have an M Performance exhaust on it from factory, so it does have a little bit of burble, which is pretty cool. We're just going to enhance this a little bit more and see what that's like. So as you can see, just sitting here talking for 10 seconds, and it's already finishing up, so pretty quick. All right, so success, hit OK, and now we just need to turn the car off, turn it back on. So we're here in the car. The car is still cold, as you can see, so I'm not gonna push it or anything yet, but you know, once again, I didn't do anything crazy with the burble, so I'm not expecting any like crazy stuff, but maybe just a little bit more enhanced than what it was before, which is kind of what I want. But as time goes on, I'll probably, you know, play with the settings and figure out what I like best. But we'll drive this car around a little bit and let it warm up. So car's warmed up, as you can see, and I've kind of been driving it around a little bit. I'm in sport mode right now because I think that's going to be the biggest, most notable difference. But so far what I can tell you guys is down low it feels about the same, but as soon as it hits like towards the top of 3rd gear and goes into 4th gear, it pulls harder than before. So like I said, I'm not sure what the difference is between going from, you know, the M Performance power kit to a boot mode stage 1. I figured it'd probably be very comparable, maybe a little bit faster, and I think I'm pretty accurate with that. So So like I said, it down low the first couple gears, it feels about the same, I think. But beyond that, it pulls harder. I'm pretty sure that it pulls a little bit harder. So I am trying it in sport mode. Comfort mode is probably going to be something similar, but in terms of the burbling, I didn't turn it up that much, as you guys saw, but I do notice that it is burbling longer. So, and that's kind of what I did, was I increased the burble length about 3 seconds, and I turned the aggression up just a tiny little bit, and that is noticeable. I think it'll be a lot more noticeable once I get a downpipe on here, because like I said, it's got a stock downpipe, and it does have an M Performance exhaust, so it does sound good, and it's a lot louder on the outside than it is on the inside of the car. So I'm gonna have to get some flybys from the outside for you guys, so you guys have a better idea of what the burbles sound like at this current stage. But yeah, so far I'm pretty happy with this. I think I thought the car was already fast before in stock form with the M Performance power kit. It's gonna make me crave more power, so this could be a bad thing, I guess, but super stoked with the way this has turned out so far. Comfort mode. Sport mode. Alright, so hopefully those video clips gave you some sort of idea of what it currently sounds like with the current settings that I uploaded. In my opinion, I think comfort mode is actually a little bit quieter than it was before, and the sport mode is definitely louder and a lot more burbling, because if you do recall, I did extend it out to 3 seconds worth of burble, so it does burble quite a bit longer in sport mode. But I will continue to play with the aggression. I think overall, I don't know that the aggression is as you know, it's not as aggressive as it was, I think, before. So, you know, and I was pretty conservative with the aggression part because I didn't want it to be too crazy. So I'm going to continue to play around with those settings, and I'll do another video showing you guys what I end up doing, and I'll kind of play around with some things and get some more video clips for you guys from the outside, so that way you guys can kind of decide on how you want to change the burble settings and the aggression on your own vehicle. And again, I think that first gear and second gear pretty much feel the same as it did before with the M Performance power kit, but third and fourth gear, specifically fourth gear, is quite a bit faster. I mean, you kind of hit, you know, 4,000, 4,500 RPMs, and the thing just takes off just like that. It just continues to pull, whereas before it kind of just fell on its face. So definitely a lot faster, but I'm super excited to get onto a stage 2 tune after we do a downpipe install. Plus, I think the volume is actually going to increase as well by removing the cat. And at that point, you know, we'll probably play with the burble settings and aggression and all that again. and see what kind of noises we can make out of this thing. One other thing I've noticed is that the intake noise seems to be a little bit louder than it was before. I do hear a lot more of a blow-off sound. You can hear the diverter valves a little bit better, I think, with the boot mode tune, so that's kind of cool too. I like to hear a lot more engine noise up front, so pretty excited about that. So my initial impressions of it I already kind of went through, but with the M Performance Power Kit, my biggest complaint, I guess, with the power delivery there was the fact that it kind of would fall on its face in higher RPMs. Like it pulls like a freight train up to a certain point, and then it just kind of levels off. Whereas the way the boot mode is currently on the stage 1, it feels like it's continuing to pull. You know, the power delivery is there, and it just continues to pull. It doesn't fall on its face like the M Performance Power Kit does. So far I'm pretty pleased with the way this feels. I'm gonna leave you guys with that for now. I will probably do a follow-up video showing you guys how, you know, what I'm gonna do in terms of changing the burble settings and changing the aggression and that sort of thing, and probably do a transmission flash. So stay tuned for another video coming soon. If you guys have any comments, questions, or concerns about anything that we've done on the install process, please let me know in the comments below. Check out keysmotorsports.com. Again, huge shout out to Brian for sending this over and sponsoring this video. So we'll see you guys in the next video. Take care. Stay tuned for more. Thanks.